Hello and welcome. My heartiest gratitude to Harvard Office of the Vice Provost for Advanced Learning and the platform Get Smarter. Through you and the tutor team of Harvard Tutor Team, now I know about the fintech. So on the Capstone project, today I'm going to present in my Capstone project. My name is Mahfuzur Rahman. I'm from Bangladesh and living in Dubai. I have chosen the topic 1, a plan of action for adopting the US digital dollar, a central bank digital currency, in short form CBDC. To make this case, I have launched a new software for this is my brainchild actually, how I would like to address this. The software called e-Taka. Taka is the Bangladeshi currency, and you know it means electronic. So how it comes to the CBDC, why I'm launching this will come to the later discussion. But e-Taka will be the presentation, the company for this project, which will resolve the issues for the Bangladeshi immigrants' remittance issues to their home. They're sending it to home, so that issue will be resolved through this software. Moving to the next slide, where we start our discussion. According to World Bank, Bangladesh is the 7th highest recipient of remittance globally. And the problem is Bangladeshi immigrants face challenges and inefficiencies in sending remittance back home due to high transaction cost, slow processing time, and limited accessibility to secure and reliable remittance channel. It means when a Bangladeshi immigrants, first of all, let us see how many Bangladeshis are living all over the world. It's almost 70 million Bangladeshi immigrants living all over the world who are working and sending remittance to the country. So what is the main problem is, the main issue is in the legal channel, when they send it through banks, it is time consuming, it's costly, and most of the time the charges are too high. Then the second option they choose, which is not legal, like hundi or hawala, but that's not reliable. That may be cheaper but not reliable. Many people lost a lot of money through this illegal channel. To resolve these issues, my brainchild is e-Taka, which will be a central bank digital currency, retail, and which address to this particular problem and resolve with a comprehensive solution. For this CBDC, US dollar digital currency, CBD retail CBDC, we have used the blockchain technology, which we'll see in our later stage. First of all, let's see what is CBDC. It's actually central bank backed electronic money, electronic currency. In this e-Taka, we emphasize on retail CBDC. Why US dollar CBDC? As I mentioned in my previous slides, that all over the world, the Bangladeshi immigrants are staying, workers are staying, and they're sending money at that currency. So US dollar will be the parameter for the Central Bank of Bangladesh, which is Bangladesh Bank. They convert all the amount, whatever amount they send to Bangladesh, it will convert it into US dollar digital form, and it will convert it again into BDT to the recipient account, especially in their e-wallet. The process we're coming. So the tagline is e-Taka will adopt the US digital dollar retail CBDC to resolve the existing remittance issues for Bangladeshi immigrants. Now we talked about the global adoption of central bank digital currency. From the Deloitte report, Central Bank Digital Currencies Building Future Value Transfer 2022, according to that, we can see 3 countries are on research on the CBDC, 5 countries already operating CBDC, and other countries are on the pilot project. And if we look at the countries, there are all type of countries are here. Developed countries adopted the CBDC. Developing countries are adopted the CBDCs. So high income country, middle income country, and lower income countries, all type of countries are adopting the CBDC. The reasons behind that, the digitalization of the economy through the CBDC, as it's controlled by the central bank, the currency is digitalized and is backed by the central bank. So while everything is going to be digitalized, why not the currency? So the CBDC took place over here, the US dollar digital form powered by the blockchain technology. The financial inclusion is another reason. It improved the financial inclusion by giving people way of digital money without bank account. Because in Bangladesh, according to World Bank data, 60% people are still unbanked in 2022. And most of these people are living in the village. And if we look at the worker group, actually, if we focus on the worker group, immigrants, Bangladeshi immigrants, who is working outside of Bangladesh and sending remittance to the country, most of them are from these villages. So the financial inclusion through the US dollar digital currency retail CBDC, financial inclusion is there. Speed and efficiency. As I told, in the legal channel, it's time consuming, it's costly. In the illegal channel, it's not trustworthy. So to mitigate this, Itaka will be the speedy and efficiency method by adopting the CBDC. Security and trust. Though it's backed by the central bank, so the security and trust of the people is as good as paper currency. Control over the monetary policy. According to few newspapers sources, I can explain that the remittance coming to the country, as I mentioned in the report, it's 22 billion came last year as a remittance, but 30% of this amount come through the legal channel and 70% through the illegal channel. So the government is controlling, the government lose the control over the observations. The money laundering took place. So anti-money laundering can be emphasized, that the control over the monetary policy by the central bank, and each and every amount they can track down through this US dollar digital retail CBDC. Competition from the cryptocurrencies is another reason. Cryptocurrency doesn't have any regulations, stable regulation, but CBDC does have, because it's backed by the regulator by itself, the central bank by itself. So it's competing with the cryptocurrency and much better policies than cryptocurrency. So that's why globally the adoption of the CBDC is growing day by day. So using the US dollar as a central bank digital currency for remittance in Bangladesh. First of all, let's see the journey of CBDC at Asia Pacific areas. In 2014 in China, 15 in China, 16 Singapore and Japan, 17 China, 18 Thailand and South Korea, 19 China, 2020 Cambodia, 2021 Singapore and India. Now these give us very strong reason why not Bangladesh. It's time to implement the CBDC in Bangladesh. The reasons are like why global adoption is almost the same reason, the stability, acceptance around the world, though it's a US dollar, so it's the parameter, so it's accepted around the world. Lower transaction cost, obviously it will be lower. We'll see how it will be lower than the any other format in our next slides. Speed and efficiency, as it's electronic money. Transparency and security, because it's backed by the central bank. So benefit of using blockchain technology in CBDC adoption. As I mentioned, like for this CBDC, we are using the blockchain technology. Why blockchain technology? Because it's efficient for transaction, because it has the smart contracts, it has the digital ledger and the end-to-end encryption, which is much more secure. And for this design consideration of Ithaca, we utilize the blockchain where the secure infrastructure, token interoperability, user experience design and scalability is there. So the security with the high-end blockchain technology will be integrated in this Ithaca CBDC model. Now we come to our main slide, actually, plan of action of implementing US digital dollar retail CBDC. Here I have planned for 5 phases to implement the CBDC, and every phases there is an objective, stakeholder involvement, possible findings and possible outcomes. Because this is yet to be implemented, it's just a brainchild, so I put the possible findings and possible outcomes, which can be a matter which we can measure the risk and mitigate the risk as well. So let's see what is in the phase 1. Phase 1, the objective is very simple, for which we'll do the feasibility study and implementation, how the future enhancement, this all the paperwork actually will be in the phase 1 objective. Phase 1 stakeholder involvements will be the central bank, which is Bangladesh Bank, e-wallets. Bangladesh has a few e-wallets called bKash, Nagad, Rocket, UPay, etc. and our technology partner. So I assume it's an ASD Digital, it's a random name only. So e-wallets, if I talk about the bKash, Nagad, Rocket and UPay, they covered the unbanked people, and our strength of the Ithaca is there. So we are integral part of the e-wallets of Bangladesh. Possible findings from phase 1, the model has designed to minimize the remittance transfer cost of the client and maximize potentiality of the central bank. Yes, because our main objective is to reduce the cost, maximize the efficiency, and most importantly the central bank monetization, because in illegal challenge central bank cannot monetize what actually going on. The possible outcome may be it's a possible, just thinking about that need for developing and testing standards, securing data in block by encryption to ensure data privacy. Yes, in the first phase we target the data security with the encryption of blockchain technology. We are moving to the phase 2. Phase 2, actually the objective of the phase 2 is the project will focus on developing software prototype for decentralization remittance services. The blockchain, using the blockchain technology, the decentralization and the prototype software will run at the phase 2. Our stakeholder involvements will be Bangladesh Bank, the Central Bank of Bangladesh, e-wallet associated banks in Bangladesh. See, the e-wallets are, as I told, bKash, Nagad, Rocket, UPay. These are backed by a private bank. Bikash is backed by the Bragg Bank. Nogod is backed by Trust Bank. Rocket is backed by Dutch Bangla Bank. UPay is backed by the United Commercial Bank of Bangladesh. So those banks association required. Though we are the Itaka will be the integral part of uh, these e-wallets. So technology partners, of course, the technology partner will be here. So the possible finding, this phase will provide information in how different work streams can transfer funds in decentralized manner without compromising data security and improve regulatory in the payment method. So here the prototype will show the maximum efficiency, the data security things it will implement it at phase 2, which will be the possible outcome which we may include over here. Requirement of cloud-based infrastructure functionalities such as environment administration, monitoring to operationalize system on the cloud. So the cloud base will be here the possible outcome. Moving to the phase 3. Phase 3, the main objective is the collaboration with the central bank and regulatory authority, which will focus on delivery. Delivery versus payment for settlement. Why settlement is here? Because as I said, from the all over the world, people are sending, the Bangladeshi immigrants are sending money to Bangladesh at their currency. Their currency means from USA, it's US dollar. From UAE, it's dirham. From Saudi Arabia, it's a real. From Malaysia, it's ringgit. From India, it's rupee. So all are coming to the one single place is the central bank. The settlement will be on the US dollar. That's how we implement the US digital dollar as central bank digital currency. That's why we choose the remittance and the parameter will be the US dollar. So stakeholder involvement will be the Bangladesh Bank, the Central Bank of Bangladesh, and associated e-wallet associated bank, and the technology partners. The possible findings, this phase enable reducing the transaction time, thereby lowering exposure of the client. In this phase, yes, it's our objective to minimize the time of the transaction, which we assume it will take maximum 5 to 15 minutes to make the transaction. The possible outcome, there is a need for analyzing the foreign exchange rate for non-BDT transaction, assessing operating hours and cut times between sender and receiver. Yes, that's the important point. So it can be a tough for central bank to control all over the world, because somehow it's somewhere it's open, somewhere it's closed. So the central bank will decide which cut-off time and the settlement amount they will think of. It will be, we recommend it will be the round the clock 24/7, controlled by the master computer for the settlement of the exchange rates. So the phase 4, our objective is the project will examine existing challenges, alternative models, and could enhance the payment sending and receiving system. So here we will actually face the challenges, what kind of difficulties it may faces. Even the competitions may be there, because anything is coming to launch. If the data leak, we see in the very big giant tech companies, data leakage, and some competitor launch before them. So that we'll examine here. And of course the payment system, receiving and sending, both will be monitored. The stakeholder of this phase will be the central bank and other countries' central bank, because for the settlement, the cut-off time, as we mentioned earlier in the phase 3 possible outcome, so that has to be central bank to central bank communication, and we recommend the 24 hours round the clock operations. Possible findings at phase 4, this paper focused on the future model and capabilities required to provide remittance services at minimum time, reduce cost by eliminating intermediaries. As I said, this is the main objective of ITACA. ITACA's main objective, and this paper, the presentation, the case studies all focus on maximizing the efficiency, cost effectiveness, and monetization. So the possible outcome, stakeholders need to consider end user transparency and security during remittance transfer. Process should be made to enable faster processing. So here the stakeholders, all the stakeholders has to be on board all the time to make it happen smoothly. And the final phase is phase 5. This phase explore how blockchain technology can be used to build a network that can provide additional feature to use and benefit ITACA and its clients. Here the blockchain technology is directly involvement of sending and receiving the money. So the full-fledged blockchain launch over here because the operation already launched at phase 5. So here the stakeholders are the central bank, the e-wallets, and our technology partner. The possible findings from this phase provide the insight on ways to provide better connectivity between transaction parties, automation of payments, processes, and adding functionality to existing prototypes. See, as I told, like it's around the clock. One country is shut down, one country is up, the official timing. But here, we recommend the Central Bank of Bangladesh will work 24 if not the human, the blockchain technology, the technologies are here. So the automation system can help that to work around the clock. So this is actually the plan of action to implementing US digital dollar as the parameter, and the central bank monitored CBDC, digital currency, in the remittance sector. The next slide, the implementation model, the visualization, will see the ITACA's involvement. So first, the picture it comes, it's simplified model from the client's perspective. Who are the clients? The receiver, the sender, remittance sender, and remittance receiver are the clients. So how? The app, the ITACA, will be installed in the sender's phone. He will load his currency, the country he is living, and sending through the ITACA. He knows he is loading the money in ITACA and it's sending to the recipient. So when it's sent, it will went to the central bank for the settlement of the exchange, and central bank will send the receiver's e-wallet. Where is the integration in receiver's phone, smartphone? What they will find, as I said, the bKash, Nagad, Rocket, UPay, these are the digital wallets in Bangladesh, popular digital wallets in Bangladesh. So everywhere the ITACA will be there, the logo. So integration there, whatever currency we are sending, central bank convert into digital, US dollar, and US dollar will be converted into BDT, Bangladeshi Taka, and send it to that e-wallet, the receiver's e-wallet, and receiver will receive it within maximum 5 to 15 minutes transaction time. Now in the figure 6 we can see actually how the software will work. So when the sender is sending, the blockchain technology generate an unified ID of the sender, and it will send the CBDC token to the central bank for the settlement. And central bank, when its conversion or settlement is done, it again send back to the blockchain. Blockchain will verify the unified ID and it sent to the receiver's digital wallet. So the blockchain involvement in the two end, from the sender's end and from the receiver's end, both end the blockchain technology is involved. Number one, when the receiver send the money in ITACA, the blockchain generate the UID. Then that CBDC token will be sent to Bangladesh Bank. Then Bangladesh Bank settlement is done, the exchange rate is done. It's sent it to again the blockchain technology to verify the UID, When the UID is verified, it will automatically send to the receiver's e-wallet, and receiver will receive the money. So that's the action model. And the upper picture, which is this one is from the client's perspective, and this one is the developer's perspective. Using digital US dollar CBDC, future of value transfer. Here we took this from Deloitte Central Bank Digital Currencies Building Future of Value Transfer 2022 book, where actually we try to demonstrate the impact in the society, the inclusions, the trust, responsibility, sustainability, and the platforms. So here all kind of impact is we found the positive, because the digitalizations and the central bank digital currency in Bangladesh will be launched by Itaka. So value transfer will transform the mindset from market taking to market making, from addressing current needs to generating new opportunities by redefining the future demand. As I said, it will compete with the cryptocurrency, and the main strength is backed by the central bank. CBDC can change the financial landscape, as Itaka engagement shows. So Itaka will be the first ever digital currency, US dollar digital currency, and first ever CBDC if the plan is implemented in the country according to the case study. Now we come to the strength, weakness, opportunity, threat SWOT analysis. First we see the strengths. Yes, innovative software, of course it's innovative. No one thought about that, how it can be mitigated. Other than that, these are like, there are a few things already can be, somebody can say like Al Ansari, they are exchange houses, they are costly, they are time consuming, legal channels. So through the blockchain technology it will be faster. It's an innovative software, though there is no blockchain technology used yet. Integration with well-known digital wallet. As I told that this digital wallet is captured the unbanked people, and 60% of Bangladeshis are still unbanked. Among those 60%, 80% live in the villages, unbanked people. And the foreign workers who are Bangladeshi, who are going to the foreign countries work purpose, they're from, most of them are from these villages. Model for making money, how Itaka will make money, that's a big thing actually. The profitability, the revenue generation of Itaka, the strength is very simple. We will charge 0.5% transaction cost from the sender account, and when its settlement is going, the blockchain technology, through the blockchain technology, that 0.5% will be deducted automatically, which will the major expenses for the maintenance, the return on investment of Itaka. Let's see the weaknesses. Changes of exchange rate. Overnight is Bangladesh, the monetary value is not stable all the time. For at this moment in 2023 July, Bangladesh is suffering in a serious dollar crisis, if you see the newspaper or know about that. So the exchange rate changes rate is always high, because last year I do remember $1 equal to, it was 82 taka. Now it's $1 equal to 110 taka, which is huge spread because of changes of the exchange rate. But however, the country, when they're sending money, the central bank will settle according to the exchange rate. Political instability and regulatory changes. Bangladesh is a developing country, so political instability is a very normal phenomenon over here. So as well as the political party change, the regulatory bodies can be changed, but regulation changes which may affect, which can be a potential effect to the Ithaca. Let's see the opportunities. Opportunity, as I told, it will capture the unbanked people, which is number is huge number. It will target the almost all Bangladeshi immigrants, so it's a large market. The change to digital, so it's easy, no more paper currency, no more illegal transaction, no more time consumption. It all changed to the digital. The maximum time will be 5 to 15 minutes to complete a transaction through the blockchain technology. Service of the unbanked people opportunities. It was 69% in 2021 according to World Bank data, but 2022 it's 60% unbanked people, as I told earlier. Let's see the threats. Dependence on the electronic wallets. Yes, Ithaca will be the integral part of the electronic wallets like Bikash, Nagad, Rocket, UPay. Somehow they denied, that can be, or somehow they got interrupted, that can be a threat. So in the future, to eliminate that threat, Ithaca will launch dedicatedly for Bangladeshi receivers also. For the time being, as a central bank, it's controlling. So for the time being, launching it, we are integrated with the e-wallets, but in future plan is the dedicated, to eliminate this threat, the dedicated will be another receiver payment, receiver of the Ithaca. The competition is cheaper, so the blockchain is introducing in Bangladesh. Some companies may come with much better offers. So here, to eliminate the threat, we have to develop every single moment. Every single upgradation has to be integrated in the blockchain system, in the total software system. Another threat is economic instability. It's actually it's a threat and weakness both. So here, the economic instability in Bangladesh, as I mentioned, that last year the dollar currency exchange rate and this year dollar currency exchange rate is a huge difference. It's almost 30% difference on that. So these are the short analysis of Ithaca. Now we move to the next, the pastel model, the political, economic, socio-culture, technological, environmental, and legal. Political is the regulatory body, we mean. Economic, yes, it's in the economic factor. It will create the balance now because everything is accountable. Socio-culture, it will affect the socio-culture on the trust on the digital things. For as a developing country, we see that the generation to generation, the dependency on the digitalization is in some certain age it's increasing, in certain age is decreasing. If we take the elder people, they don't believe in the digitalization, but the younger people, they're more adaptive to the digitalization, so it may create the balance in the socio-culture. Technological, yes, the blockchain technology will be here, which is the first ever. Environmental, while there is not much direct involvement in the environmental, but there is a indirect involvement is there. The paper currency will be eliminated, so it's a cloud based, it's a software based, so it's environmental friendly, of course. Like the electric vehicle is environmental friendly, the electric currency must be also environmental friendly as a according to pastel model. The legal is law and regulation, of course. Ithaca always maintain the regulation and the guidelines of the regulators. 2 by 2 matrix. First we see what we consider in the 2 by 2 matrix. In the x-axis we take the partners and technology provider, which is the blended of partners advanced technology and partners basic technology. Partners means our that who will be the technological partner, the blockchain partner, the software partners, they, and obviously the banks, the e-wallets. These are in the y-axis. We consider low high complexity needs of the customers and low complexity needs for the customers. So the customer needs straight in the y-axis. This matrix shows that Ithaca as a US dollar retail CBDC can meet a wide range of customer wants, the technology abilities by inclusion of blockchain technology, the high end possibility. It can offer advanced features and customers with complex needs and simple, reliable services for those with basic need or limited technology skill. The Ithaca business plan work well because it can be changed and changed again. See the adaptiveness of the software, and it's user friendly. Though it's Bangladesh already adopted the e-wallet, so Ithaca adaptability will be the easier. So that's our 2 by 2 matrix considerations. Now risk factor and mitigation processes, will talk about the risk, potential risk, and the mitigation processes. So operational risk will be mitigated by the strong system design, regular test and updates. As I mentioned, it's regularly it will have to be updated to stay in the market. Strong security measures, so no data breach, no other things will be like which can be threat for the software, and plan what to do if the system breaks. So the backup plan is always ready. The backup plan, the backup servers, everything will be set up to mitigate the risk. Financial stability risk, how we mitigate this financial stability. Set limit on how much Ithaca a person business can hold to stop a large amount of money from leaving commercial banks. See, there is always the limit for every financial transaction, so we can limit it. We cannot make it like open end. We limit in a certain limit, like per day you can transact this much dollar equivalent amount. So which can be regulated by the central bank. They will put the final regulations on this. For e-wallet, I would like to say in Bangladesh, the current situation, the per day transaction is 25,000 taka, which is almost $250 per day transaction. You can one individual can do if it is the individual account. If it is merchant account, then it has a limit of 500,000 taka, which is close to 4,500 something like that. Then the privacy risk, yes, the privacy risk is there, so it will be well protected. The transaction data, make sure the strong data security measures and clear policies how data can be used, who can access it. The client's privacy, the data privacy is our concern to make it more trustworthy. Legal and regulatory risk, yes, we will do the KYC, anti-money, to prevent the anti-money laundering process. All those things will be taken to the consideration, oblige the regulations. Technology risk is the technology that has tested, is known to be safe, regular technology checks, and put strong cybersecurity measures in place, yes, to protect the data breach and other hacking. So we'll do that. Adoption risk is very minimum over here because we are in the integrated in the e-wallet system. So but after that we'll keep educating people how to use Ithaca, so it will be easier for them. As they are still using the e-wallet, they can use Ithaca as well as the operating the e-wallet. So the adoption risk will mitigate to educate the people, to educate the central bank, to educate the e-wallets providers. So we come to the cost benefit analysis. So the cost is development and implementation cost is there, but benefit will get the more development and implementation cost we put, will get the efficiency and speed, because we believe good things are not cheap and cheap things are not good. Operational cost. The operation cost and the benefit will be the financial inclusions. See, we are charging 0.5% from the senders, which will be automatically deducted when the senders load the money to send the blockchain technology. Through the blockchain technology, when it come to the send button, that 0.5% will immediately deducted, and it will use for the operational expenses. Regulatory compliance cost. Yes, to operate in Bangladesh, everyone has to pay the regulators according to the tax, VAT, if applicable for these things. Yes, we will comply with that, but it will create security and trust. Security and trust in a sense, because this is the electronic currency which is backed by the Central Bank of Bangladesh. Central Bank backed means its security, no matter what, Central Bank will take the whole responsibility. So the people trust is there. Risk management cost. So this includes the cost of managing the various risks associated with CBDCs, all the risks we discussed earlier, the weaknesses, the threats, the financial stability risk, operational risk, but the benefit, control over monetary policy. However, it may be little bit expensive in the software maintenance and the regulatory fees, but the monetary policy. See, at this moment, Bangladesh is receiving, it's an newspaper link I'm telling you, receiving the remittance 30% in legal way and 70% in illegal way through the CBDC, US dollar backed digital currencies. It will be controlled, the monetary policy, by the central bank. Education and awareness cost. To educate the people, the marketing cost will be there, but it lowered the transaction cost. CBDC might able to lower the processing cost, the user making easier to send money. As I said, like earlier, when they're sending money through the exchange houses, through the banking, the legal channels, the expenses are high. But when they use the blockchain technology, the Itaka, it will be much lower, but we have to educate. So the investment for the educate the people is there. So we come to the last, the final, the key takeaway, the conclusion of Itaka. Why my proposal of Itaka is acceptable, my justifications, because customers, clients have factual reasons to wanting Itaka to adopt a US digital dollar retail CBDC by blockchain technology. So the things I have explained, why anyone can adopt to this. The first reason is US dollar retail CBDC for private use. Itaka is a big step forward for financial systems. As I explained the whole process, it's a really electronic wallet to electronic central bank currency. It's a big journey, and the whole world, the big large market of Bangladesh is, which is the seventh, according to World Bank, seventh in the world for the remittance centers. It's used blockchain technology to make transactions safe, clear, and quick. Yeah, the blockchain provide us these facilities, which is safer, almost hack-free, less technological risk. It's clear transparency because UID will be generated, and it will be much quicker, though it's the blockchain. Itaka's business plan is designed to meet wide range of customer needs, technological abilities. It offers advanced features for customers with complex need and simple service for customers with basic needs. As I showed in my slide, from the client's perspective, that picture, if you just can remember, that the sender knows he is loading money to Itaka, the receiver knows he is withdrawing money from his e-wallet, what he or she was regularly using. So, which is very end to end, very easy to use business plan. So the adaptiveness will be much higher. The third reason, blockchain technology makes sure the transactions are safe and clear, as I mentioned in the point one, and it makes easier collect better data for innovation. See, the user experience gathering the big data analysis, it also be also the part of the blockchain. So it analyze, will use the artificial intelligence and machine learnings to analyze the user experiences, and time to time we develop our Itaka's software. If Itaka is combined with a strong regulatory system, it could change the way of value in transferred. Yes, the central bank digital currency. If Itaka launch, it must be regulated by the central bank. So the regulation must be met. So when the regulation met, it means yes, it's on the go with all. Maybe the government fees, the payment has to be done, but that 0.5% from the sender's amount will able to generate that much revenue to maintain the software payment to the regulators. What is the regulatory fees will able to pay. And yes, it's changing the value of all the aspects. For Itaka to be put into place successfully, there are a number of risks that need to be carefully managed. As I mentioned just previous slide, the risk, how we can mitigate those risks. This includes the practical financial stability, privacy, legal, regulatory, technology, and adoption risk. All the mitigation factors were already discussed. With the right strategies of reducing risk, Itaka can encourage a shift from taking the market to making the market. This will open up new possibilities by redefining what people want in the future. See, this technology, the remittance system in Bangladesh through the central bank, is lengthy and costly, time consuming in the legal way, and in the illegal way it's totally mistrust. So combined, eliminating all these risks is the future. What we are looking at, the future we're looking at is that Itaka will be powered by the blockchain technology, end-to-end encrypted and controlled by the central bank. That's how the central bank digital currency can be launched, and the parameter will be the US digital dollar. So the exchange rate is lower, the monetary policy, the regulations, everything will be followed. So last, Itaka is a promising new digital currency that has the potential to change the way money works by overcoming its risks and weaknesses, and bring huge benefit to people, companies, and the economy as a whole. Now you all can understand how the business plan of mine of launching the Itaka as US digital dollar, central bank digital currency, can change the economy, the perspective of the people, the whole remittance industry in Bangladesh. It's just 22 billion in 2022 according to World Bank data, and 2021 it was 21 billion. Before that it was 18 billion. So it's growing every year. It's growing, and it will grow. It will grow, as well as the business of Itaka will grow, the adaptability of Itaka will grow, the trust on this system, the regulations, the control on these legal procedures, all combined together, Itaka will be the future as the central bank digital currency. Thank you very much. That's all. I hope you like the idea, and that's my thoughts about this. And thank you once again, Harvard Business School, Harvard Office of the Vice Provost for Advanced Learning, Get Masters platform. Thank you very much. Thank you to my all of my tutors, Miss Grace, Miss Vicky, Mr. Terence. Thank you very much for all your support, whole journey to the fintech, and all the course curriculum all together. They bring me to this stage to make this presentation the idea. Thank you very much.